that land was higher up out of the water at one time, and the lost continent of Mu was the mountain peaks of Hawaii now. So we made some money. We got signed to 2 good record companies, Era Records in L.A., and then later United Artists even took us over. And as I mentioned, to the dismay of our L.A. record label and our promoters and agents, when we made some money, we fled for Maui and set up shop there, and just kept writing from there. And then I met one of the High Lamas from Tibet, and I took refuge in meditation with him, and I got to play music for him. And when I got to Maui, I really went on a spiritual sojourn, and at the same time I was looking for any ruins of the lost continent of Mu that I could find. And the Lama gave me the name Lodru Jansau, which in English translates to Oceans of Intelligence. And I ended up looking through the jungle every place I could look for ruins, and an older Hawaiian guy that liked me and heard my stories about, wanting to find the lost continent of Mu, and he said, I want to show you something. And he took me to this jungle trail that led into this valley, and there was a stone sidewalk going down, and he wouldn't go down there. He said he used to play down there when he was a little kid, but his parents forbid him to go there. They said it was kapu, and the Mu people may get him and take him away. So I went down there, and I felt like now when I look back at it, I was doing Indiana Jones before the character was invented. I came to this flat area in front of this pristine waterfall where there were 3 pillars standing on a stone platform that looked like Inca stonework because it was cut stone, fit together perfectly, not like what Hawaiians do. They just take lava boulders and stack them up and put a thatched roof on it. And there was one pillar that had fallen over and was laying in this little pool. It was like some scene out of a movie. And the pillars were, the only way I know to explain them, they were probably 30 feet tall, but the sides were indented like they had been milled on a milling machine. And then I noticed there was a sidewalk of the same stonework going under the how bush, and I had to crawl on my hands and knees and followed it down to where it went into the ocean. And I could see at least 50 feet out. It was still going under the water, and the lava had flowed over it. So I knew that those structures and that sidewalk was older than that lava flow. And some scientists went down there, and I don't know how they did it. They carbon dated the pillars and said they were over 10,000 years old. So there's a picture of one of the pillars I took in my book, Calling from a Star, the Merrel Fankhauser story. And then I was hiking through the crater, and out in the middle of the lava flow, sticking up, the dried lava flow that was over 1,000 years old, I saw what looked like a pyramid. And you're not supposed to leave the trail. There's signs posted, and the rangers don't like you to leave. But I did anyway, and I had to jump these deep chasms to get to this pyramid. And I tried to climb up on the side of it, but I got such vertigo, I was feeling like I was going to get sick. And I got to a vantage point where I could take a picture with the sky in the background. And I got a picture of that pyramid, which was I estimated what was sticking out of the lava was 48, 50 feet tall. And I heard much years later the Parks Department let the National Geographic Society go up there with a powered auger, and they drilled a hole in the side of it, which I was amazed they let them do that. And they concluded that it's a much bigger structure, that this is only the cap top that goes under that dried lava field. So it goes on from there on the desolate side of Maui, the south side where the road ends, because there's a lava flow there past McKenna Beach, and you can't go any further. There's a stone roadway with stone walls on it going out through the lava field there, the dried lava. And every once in a while, a big flow of lava will be over this stone roadway, and you have to climb over that, and the road keeps going. Well, a few miles out on the mountain side, you start noticing all of these foundations and sidewalks and structures that are under the lava, half covered, that were exactly like what I found in the jungle on the other side of the island. And about 7 miles out, by a red cinder cone, there's a great big huge building. And my friend that was interested in archaeological sites called it Lost City Hall. And down in the corner of this large building, there's a hole in the floor and a rickety ladder that somebody made. I went down in this, and I had a flashlight, but I didn't have my camera with me. And there it was. Stone floor, stone walls, and ceiling, all cut stone, the same thing on the other side of the lava. And that was quite a hike. I was very exhausted, and my friend that was with me also. And it took us all day to get back to where we had parked the car. And it's very hot out there. There's no vegetation. There's no water. And that dried lava just seems to radiate the heat. And we were wondering if we were going to make it back. And we drank all of our water by the time we got back to the car. But those things are there on the island, and it's in my book. And, you know, I've talked about it on radio quite a bit. And young Hawaiians have actually emailed me and said, my parents and my grandparents never have told me about this. Why is this? Well, I talked to some Hawaiian fishermen, and they call it the King's Burial Ground. And they'll go out just a little ways to a beach and go fishing, but when it gets dark, they leave. They're afraid to be out there. They say you hear all kinds of odd noises and even sounds like babies crying. So that's all.
Is that in Maui?
Book. That's on Maui. And it's all in my book. You can see the pictures, and you know I've documented it pretty well. And the book is available at Amazon.com, or they can get the book directly from me.
Yeah, I'm going to get it, if you don't mind, on Amazon, just because I can have it shipped here. But Calling from a Star, and you have some pictures of this Moo King's Burial off the coast of Maui.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. Not to mention it's your story too, right?
It's up against where the last lava flow came out of Haleakala Crater. It's right there on the desolate side of Maui, past McKenna Beach. And the book is called Calling from a Star, the Merrel Fankhauser story. Available at Amazon.
Calling from a Star. Now, how did you come up with that name? I mean, obviously we're bragging about you being ET related and amused, and you get ET downloads with your music or sound waves. But how can you talk about it? I know we're going to sound new agey, folks, but that's just the way it is.
I'm okay with new agey.
Communicate.
I like new agey.
Yeah. Okay, well, I call it Ascension Age after 12/21/12. Merrel,
Yeah.
I'm like Merle Haggard, Merle,
Good.
Merle,
Yeah.
Merle.
Well,
Yeah,
when I wrote the song "Calling from a Star," it's like I felt, a real channel opened up to me, and the video of "Calling from a Star" that's on YouTube, and the song's still out there doing what it's doing, and I really feel like we are here calling from a star. Connect with us. We need to know you. And it just seemed natural to use the title for the book also.
Love it. Okay, so I've got to find that book on Amazon. I'm going to add that. I'm creating a page on aquarianradio.com and putting a lot of images in there that we're talking about today. And then TJ's
Can we play "Calling from a Star," ladies? Can we?
It's still not loaded. No, they gave me the only thing I've got. If you want to take a break for a moment, is I could play the one that was uploaded. Lila, do you like that one?
And that's from the Fapper-Dockley album. And as I mentioned, several songs from that album have made it back into the spotlight, even though the album was released in 1967. A song called "Supermarket" was in the Thomas Pynchon book, Inherent Vice, that they made a movie out of. The song "Tomorrow's Girl" was nominated for a Grammy in 2011 on the Rhino release, Where the Action Is, L.A. Nuggets, 1965 to 68. And now Lila is in the movie Chappaquiddick. And that movie's been out for almost a year now. So that's something I wrote and recorded in 1967.
Now, do I have permission from you? Because if we go all over FM radio, Stitcher, iTunes, all kind of places. And I'll need your permission to play this. You own the copyright to Lila.
You have, yes. I own the copyright. I wrote the song, and it's in my publishing company, Fankhauser Music in ASCAP. And I give you the right to play any of these songs that you want, Theresa.
Whoa! Well, some of them would be awesome if you let us. We'll just keeping motivated with your music. Let's get this down now, folks. It's 3 minutes and 26 seconds. So we hope you enjoy it. And this is compliments of the original owner and some famous things going on in music and Merrel Fankhauser. All right, we'll be back in a few moments. Then Merrel, take you a quick break, but listen to this, folks. I'm so excited to be able to play this, and this is news and history in the making on Valentine's Day. So for your listening pleasure, Lila, folks, Merrel Fankhauser.